My name is George Koshi. I'm the founder of Greencontributor. And we've been having this series of Zoom sessions with experts from around the world. We were trying to address an environmental issue, especially the plastic pollution. Now, today we have my global trainer, Mr. Peter Phillips. In fact, Peter has been associated with me since the last 10 years. Hi, Peter. Thank you so much. Once again, thanks for giving your time. And he has been involved in training youths around the world. And he has also given training to the corporate executives. So I thought this would be a great opportunity to have him address this small gathering that we have. And I'm hoping that we would have more people who would be joining in any moment. So Peter, go ahead and let's start.
Good morning. I'm really excited to be with you all this morning. To have a conversation really about transitions and leadership. Yeah, much of George and direct me here as the case may be. I don't know if everyone on the call has been part of the two previous presentations. Okay, but the benefit or the opportunity this morning to have a conversation about transitions and leadership is really an opportunity to examine yourself and begin to develop a vision of your future and the roles you will play as leaders in your future, but also the impact that you will have on the world in terms of managing successful change. Okay, so a big goal for today is to really learn two lessons. One, what are the values that make a good leader? And two, one of leaders' most challenging opportunities and measure of success is really about how they manage change. Okay, so that's the two aspects of the conversation that we really want to have this morning. I'm hoping it will be interactive. That might be challenging. I can't see you, but,
yeah.
But hopefully you can see me. So in order for that interaction to take place, I may ask, just for an update, George, can you tell me who's on the call in terms of schools?
Okay, so we have the Delta Water School from Botswana. We have, there's one student from UAE, from Alain. We have one teacher from Iran. We have a couple of, of course, Mr. Mokrani is from Tunisia. We have a couple of students from Tunisia. Mima is from Morocco. Tekramar is from Botswana, so we have that.
And I appreciate that, George. That provided at least an opportunity for an introduction for everybody else to get a sense of where they're all from and how they are connected, okay? So a little bit of information about me. My name is, as George said, Peter Phillips. I have lived in the United States for about 30 years, but you can tell from my accent, it's a little confused. So I have other destinations in my history. I was born in London, and my parents are from Trinidad in the Caribbean, where I spent my first years as a young boy, returning to London for higher education, where I also got married, had children, and then emigrated to the United States. All right. So today I'm in Florida, and I happen to have just relocated to a space that I enjoy very much. I'll give you a little, I know you guys have been taking videos of where you are. Right now it looks like if I'm in the middle of the jungle, but I'm actually at a restaurant, which actually I believe has one of the best breakfasts in town. So I'm well located for my diet plan for today. So if anybody missed the kind of first couple of minutes, our conversation today is about transitions and leadership. And I think a smart place to start would be to talk about, what is leadership? So if the teachers can help me facilitate this, if in your own, I know some of you are working individually or probably in smaller groups of two, come up with about 3 words in each that describes leadership for you. and I'd like you to document this. So even if you can't share it with me now, you can share it with George later, because what I'd like to see is those words that those teams come up with that represent leadership to you. All right, can you do that? Take 1 minute to do that.
Okay, and let me just give you the instruction. So if somebody is trying to speak, you could just unmute it, or you could text me and then I can read this out to Peter. Okay,
that would be wonderful. Thank you.
So it's both for the teacher as well as for students or youths or who are attending separately too. They could just text us.
George, I have a student from Birsa School.
Okay, awesome.
His name is Hadi, participating in this conference.
Oh, that's
hello.
Awesome. Hi.
Hello.
Thank you.
Salam Hadi, and I belong to the group of Mr. Mkwani.
Oh, perfect, wonderful, excellent. So there is another student from another school, Ibn Mandor in Tunisia.
Kartaj Birsa, yeah.
That's okay,
yeah.
Awesome.
Okay, welcome.
So yeah, so the others, just unmute your mic and just speak out when you have a, when you're asked to do that. Thank you so much. So Peter, would you like to ask the question once again?
Yeah. Three words from you that describe leadership. What is leadership to you?
Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Can I explain what does the word leadership mean?
Perfectly, go ahead.
Okay. The word leadership can bring to mind a variety of images. For example, a political leader pursuing a passionate personal cause, or an explorer cutting a path through the jungle for the rest of his group to follow, or an executive developing her company's strategy to beat the competition. That's what can be leadership for me, for example.
Awesome. That is great. Any others? Any others?
Yeah,
let's have one more. Okay. So the reason we want to have a conversation about leadership is really about looking at you. I'm going to make the assumption that all of you want a leading role somewhere in your lives in the future. Yeah? So leadership isn't just about somebody with a title. Leadership is really you. Yeah? And before you can lead anybody else, you really have to lead yourself, right? And in order to lead yourself, or indeed anybody else, you have to have a set of values. So the question really is, what is values? Yeah. So I'm going to ask that question again, because I really want to gather the information that's in your space, in your room. Okay. What are values? Okay. Just give me three. And I'd love for it to be from a different group that shared previously. What are values? Give me three things that you think are values.
This is all about leadership. So we're trying to make sure that you are able to do things in any place, and don't be shy about anything, because that's all what this is all about. Because everybody is equal. We all are the same, and we can still do a lot of things. We all face the same challenges. In fact, sometimes we might be shy. We might think that we are unlucky. We are not able to get it. But then why is it there? Is it that it could be because you have not taken that step forward. So this is the best time for you to try to speak out, because this is again a global audience, and if you would definitely be heard later on too. So it's an opportunity that you should try to speak out, or at least text and let me know that.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Hello.
I want to express my point, please.
Sure, go ahead.
Wonderful.
Well, a great leader for me possesses a clever vision. He's courageous, he's in integrity, honesty, humanity. He's a clear focus. He has a clear focus. And also, great leaders help people reach their goals, are not afraid to hire people that might be better than them, and take pride in the accomplishment of these. They help along the way.
Thank you.
All right. So again, with definitions like that, it's clear that there are leaders in our space right now, and those leaders are you. So what I want to run through, and I'm hoping that you will, if you have the capacity to document some of this, okay, I want to share with you what I consider to be core values for leaders, all right? We'll continue to have the conversation, but I believe that an important value for leaders to have, okay, and I define leaders not just as somebody with a title, because I believe leaders are you, which is the students in the classroom, all right? Yes, it's also the teacher, but the classroom is going to be more successful if there are more leaders in the classroom. All right? So I believe a good leader focuses on the assets that they possess. Okay? Focusing on the assets means the strengths, the weaknesses, the challenges, and the opportunities. And when I say focus on assets, assets are us, okay? So if a leader focuses on things that I don't do well, they're not getting the best out of me, right? So they have to be able to focus on what is it that I do well in order to get the best out of me, all right? If the leader only focuses on what I don't do well, then the opportunity doesn't I can't grow, but I don't grow from strength. Make sense? So it's really important for you as young people, as you engage with each other, to focus in on what are the assets of the people that in my peer. What is it that they do well? Where is it that they're successful? And how can I promote their success? Okay? That's it, and it's a bit like looking at, if any of you play sports, okay, you don't look for the person, you know, who can't shoot the ball straight to be the striker, right? Okay, you put him hopefully in the defense somewhere and hope he doesn't score an own goal, right? So you're going to focus on what it is that you do well, and those are your strengths. And all leaders who lead well focuses on the assets of the people or the group that they work with. Does that make sense? So remember, focus on assets, all right? Another leadership value is collaboration. Does everybody know what collaboration means? Everybody knows what collaboration means. Teachers, please define collaboration in your group for 30 seconds.
I want to tell you what does collaboration mean.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, collaboration means to work with another person or group in order to achieve or do something. That sounds disarmingly simple, but then when you strip back what business is all about, it fundamentally comes down to coordinating the efforts of the company's employees to provide goods and services. That's what does it mean. Exactly right?
Excellent. Yes. Yeah. So again, the key thing about collaboration, and again, this is an important leadership value for you also as young people. These are also the kind of assets that's going to help with an employer one day, okay? It's about how well you work with other people, all right? How well you work together in solving the biggest challenges and problems of today, all right? So for example, I know a lot of you are kind of focused on challenging our behavior in the environment. You're going to have more success being able to work with other people, challenging those issues in our community. So how well you work together is going to determine how successful you work together, not only challenging our behavior in the environment, but also your success at school, your success when you go to work, your success when you collaborate at home, your success when you collaborate in the playground. Yeah? So collaboration is an important value and an important skill.
So I would like to just interrupt. There was a comment that just came from one of the participants who said that collaboration is an act of working together to produce any piece of work.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. So again, the reason we're talking about collaboration and focus on assets is a value that make you a good leader. All right. So I hope you are assessing yourself in relation to your assets, your ability to collaborate. Okay. Another leadership value, innovation. What is innovation? Can anybody tell me? One person, not the same person that presented before, somebody else. What's innovation? Don't be shy.
Can I speak?
Yes, go ahead.
I think that innovation is to create something new, original, and to don't imitate the others, and to put all our energy to create something new, to create ourselves, to create something that doesn't exist. This is innovation.
That's a great example. Peter, did you hear that?
I did hear that again. Again, that's an important. Listen up, guys. Okay. Great. Well, I love your enthusiasm. That's good. So yeah, innovation is real essential as a leadership value. It's the ability to solve problems, right? It's the ability to be able to vision something that doesn't exist and then come up with a plan, okay, to create something new, all right? And that's essentially what it is that you said. But again, what I want you to be thinking of as we're having these conversations is that how does innovation relate to you? How do you innovate in your life? Yeah? How do you problem solve? How do you fix things in your life, whether it be personal, whether it be related to school, whether it be related to family, or indeed if you have a job, how do you solve problems in those situations? What's your ability to innovate and come up with new ideas? All right? So I hope that you're creating opportunities for yourself in that area. What about integrity? Someone mentioned integrity earlier. What is integrity? What does that mean to you? So someone had mentioned integrity earlier, though. And again, I think it's these definitions work much better when it's in their voice. So whoever mentioned integrity as a leadership value earlier, can they share with us the meaning of integrity for them?
Well, I have an idea about integrity. I don't think it's true, but I don't know. I share it with you. I think that integrity is being honest, like and to have a strong personality and to be honest. Is that it?
I mean, I think the core of it is about honesty. It's about being trustful, right? Okay. And honesty comes from not just what we say, it also comes from what it is that we do, right? So it's the basics. Even in your own relationship, do you keep promises? Do you lie? You know, if you lie, obviously that's not considered good integrity. If you don't follow through on things that you say you're going to do, that's not good integrity. So, for example, you know, in a school situation, that's not good. Yeah. So again, you need to be able to look at these core values of what good leadership is and align them with where you are in your life right now, because these leadership values start from where you are right now in school. Yeah. So include integrity as one of those items that is a priority in terms of you being a good leader. Okay. In order for you to be successful at work, you're going to have to build a level of integrity with your boss, the people that you work with. And again, in your situation, in your classroom, the teacher is the boss, your peers are your co-workers. All right. So you're in business already. So you need to be developing your integrity already. All right. Okay, moving on.
Yes, we can.
Again, it's another event. Sorry.
Okay. Does the Botswana school? Question?
Don't make noise.
Okay. Does the Botswana school? Do you want to ask a question? Because otherwise, I probably will have to mute you so that we can hear the others. And then when it is time for you, then we'll unmute you. Yes, go ahead. There is a question. Okay, Technopower. Yes, there is a question. You have raised your hands. If you can go ahead and ask.
Who was saying something about integrity?
Yes, speak out. Speak out, please.
Somebody saying integrity.
Yes, please, go ahead. Joseph, go ahead. If there is a student who wanted to ask the question.
Here who wanted to say something about integrity.
Please go ahead, Seth.
Okay.
Integrity is doing something. Yes, integrity is doing something out of your goodwill, having honor in something that you.
Yeah, go ahead,
Okay.
Peter. Just go ahead, Peter.
I see a note just came up. Can you read that out?
Okay. Oh, so they were just saying that, okay, good leaders do not leave people behind. They do not charge forward without others. They mobilize others and continually inspire them to strive towards the destination. That's an awesome note that's come up.
Wonderful. Okay, so moving on. So just remember, integrity is an important leadership value. So teachers, I hope with your help, they're getting these core values down, okay? They can always define them later on together with you, all right? Another core value, good leaders, is accountability. What does accountability mean to you? What is accountability? What is accountability? Just one person, please.
Willingness to accept responsibility for your own action.
Okay. Yep.
That's awesome.
Excellent. Excellent. Right. So why is accountability important? As a leader, okay, and again, I'm trying to talk about these values in the context of you and where you are right now. Yeah. So right now you have accountability to your teachers, you have accountability to your parents, but you also have accountability to your peers in your classroom. You may also be involved in team sports where you have accountability there too. All right. So accountability is really an important value. Even as a leader, you're accountable to your troops, so to speak, or your staff, the people under you, not just the people above you. Make sense?
Okay, so there is one more note that has come in, Peter. Just one: responsibility to do what you are doing completely.
Absolutely, absolutely. But it's also about transparency. Where all the values come together in that accountability. Okay. So even though you're maybe responsible for other people as a leader, okay, you are accountable to them to make sure that you're providing them with the resources that they need in order to be successful. Yeah. In a classroom, okay, you're accountable for doing your part, but you're also accountable for promoting everybody else's success in the classroom. All right. If you don't do that, then people on your team are not going to be successful. All right. And that's going to hurt your performance as well. So that's accountability. Okay. What is diversity and inclusiveness? What does that mean to you? What is diversity and inclusiveness? What's that as a value? What's diversity and inclusiveness? One contribution, please.
Can I express what does diversity mean?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, it means understanding that each individual is unique and recognizing our individual differences. This can be along the dimensions of race, ethnicity, gender, sexual orientation, socio-economic states, whatever.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you. Okay. So again, as a leader, okay, in order for you to be successful and for your team to be successful, the more diverse your skills, talents, experiences, the more success you're going to have. And that really has to be a value that you lead with. Yeah. So if everybody on your team is 7 foot tall, okay, you're going to be able to reach up high, but you're not going to be able to get anything down below. Make sense? So diversity is really is about an understanding and a belief that you move from, that the more diverse your team, the more you take into account their unique talents, okay, the more successful and creative your team will be in being able to solve the real problems of the whole world, or indeed the little town that you live in. Does that make sense? So diversity and inclusiveness, again, is a value that you lead with, okay? It's not an afterthought. It's saying, hey, how do we best organize this team in order to be able to manage and lead successfully? We want to be able to expose ourselves or build a team with all those unique and diverse talents. Make sense?
There is one more comment that has come in, which says to be always racing to the new and to be creative in it.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So I just want to repeat those leadership values, and teachers, I hope you can help our young people document all these. Okay, I'm just going to give you the headings right now. Focus on assets. What are we good at? All right. We're going to focus on what we do well. We're going to focus on collaboration. How do we work together? We're going to focus on innovation. How do we solve problems? Yeah. How creative are we? Sorry, George, you had a question?
I said, how do we act in a society? How to be in a team? Like how to act with people? How to be that's it. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
Yes. Yes.
And Peter, go ahead. You can complete that, and then I will.
Right.
I will put in my word.
Okay. So I said collaboration, innovation. I said next one is integrity. All right. Honesty, transparency. Yep. The next one is accountability. Yep. And finally, diversity and inclusiveness. Those are the values that I believe will promote you as a good leader if you're able to master those skills. All right. So again, there are a set of behaviors that then go along with that. We don't have time to go into that today, but I'm hoping that you're at least taking away what those core values are. Sorry, George, go ahead.
So yes, what I would like to share here is it's like we have a diverse group. It's not just students. We also have youths. We also have executives. We have like a university professor. We have, of course, teachers. So now everybody faces the challenge. They may be in different countries where everybody feels that, yes, life is hard. Things are not easy to come by. So we have to focus on what we can do within the set of circumstances that we are in, and try to be more creative, try to identify our skill sets. And now that we have understood what are the traits of a leader, that is something that we need to come up, we need to identify in ourselves to be different, because we can definitely do anything, even move mountains, as long as you start to believe in your abilities, and as long as you start to act the way which can make the others follow you. So it doesn't matter where you are, it doesn't matter what your situation is. We might all have ups and downs, but that's where we actually can make it. It's like, yes, be strong. We would definitely be able to overcome any challenges.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm aware that it is 9:46. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think it's realistic to start transitions.
No,
okay?
It's okay. We can have it later on.
Right. Yeah. And because I think definitely we need a space. But if we want to continue the conversation around leadership values, I'm happy to do so for the next 10 minutes, and probably create some more interaction with our schools or teachers that are online.
Or the participants.
Yeah. I have a question.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. I think when we work in a team, there is no leadership. We should all be leaderships, like leaders. Like I want to say leaders. Yeah, there is no leader, one leader. We all must be leaders, leaders of our work. Like we should share roles, and each one of us should be a leader of his own role. Like, and with this we can be successful people. Like, but when one of us be a leader of all the roles, and he should, like, he may freaking on.
Right.
Well, I mean, that's a very good comment, and I'm sure everybody understands what exactly our participant was trying to say, because that's
Yes.
a common thing. But is that truly a leader? Because we did mention about some of the traits. Okay, collaboration is important. So it's kind of, diversity is important. Everything getting together, a lot of things. So go ahead, Peter.
Yeah, I love that feedback from that particular student. I think it kind of goes back though to the first value. The first value was focus on assets. Yeah. Whilst we might all want to lead, we have to understand that we all don't have the same assets, right?
Yes.
So there's another exercise that we need to do in order to find out where our strengths are. We can't do that today, but definitely I would love to entertain that as an opportunity to have another kind of conversation with you, because in order to, again, step into your own leadership, you have to know what it is that you're good at. We aren't good at everything, right? I'm not good at everything. So I need to, but I need to know where are the areas that I can lead, okay? So once I'm aware of what my strengths and assets are, they will know, again, just like looking at if you play soccer, for example, if I'm the best person who can catch the ball, I might be the goalkeeper, all right?
Yes.
If I'm the best person who can shoot, I might be the striker. The striker can't be in the goal because he can't catch. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes, absolutely.
So you have to know what it is that you're good at, all right? Which is another evaluation. And I'd love to have a conversation with you, George, that if that's a need of teachers or schools to be able to do those kind of evaluations.
Absolutely. Okay, Gofran, you can go ahead and ask the question.
Well, I agree as what the guy just said. We all must be leaders, not just one person. But also I agree with Mr. Petter in what he says. We all need to focus on assets, and we have to improve our integrity, accountability, inclusiveness, diversity, innovation, and collaboration. We all have to improve all of these things. And as he said at the first, he said we all have to be leaders for ourselves before being leaders for anybody else. So I agree with him in this too. That's all I wanted to say.
I think you said that better than I did. I love that.
Yeah.
And there is one more comment that has come in. It says hardworking, clear values, emotional intelligence, ability to inspire, passionate, thirst for learning, strong communication, and another thing is work-life balance.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I love those too. I would add another one. Play.
Go ahead.
Play is another value, okay? The importance of being able to laugh, tell a joke, not take yourself so seriously, okay, is really important, yeah? Because if you can't laugh at what you do and enjoy what you do, that impacts, obviously, again, your work-life balance. You need to be able to play at work and play away from work too.
That means being sociable.
Oh, perfectly said.
Absolutely. Yeah. Makes you a great collaborator.
Yes.
Can I add something, please?
Please, go ahead.
Well, I've been studying in an English center here in Tunisia, and our teacher said to us that we have to learn how to be leader people, and to we made a session. We talked about leadership, and we get confused when we talk in front of a lot of people or in a group. So I added that we have to improve ourselves in this special. Nowadays, pupils and teenagers get confused when they talk because of they use a lot like internet and phone. They don't talk even to their families. You can understand me. So I said that we can improve this thing in ourselves step by step, like talking in front of your family, the whole family in front of you, make a speech in front of them. Also, you can talk in front of your class roommates. okay, in front of your classrooms. You can make a speech in the school in front of the administration, the people, and you can improve it step by step. Okay, do you got the point?
Absolutely. Communication is key. And you know, I always say that the best way, you know, in order to get a job, you have to do a presentation, right? So that's
Yeah.
called an interview. That's called an interview. Yeah. So all in
That's
all
what
of
I'm here today. Actually, I want to improve my leadership.
absolutely, communication is key. All right.
Yeah.
And normally, I mean, that's the point at which you determine whether or not you get the job or not. So, you know, as I said, I think that's a really important skill. Any others?
Express yourself in the society even.
Sorry, repeat that.
You express yourself in the society when you try to be a leader.
Right, absolutely. So again, one of my hopes in terms of your takeaway from, again, this conversation is that you will assess yourself in relation to those values we talked about earlier today. It doesn't mean that there aren't more, but I believe that those are core ones that you need to start with. That's going to be important for you today in your school and as you progress into your adulthood, higher education, workplace, life, family, etc. So I think that's a starting point for you. And there are many more, okay? But I think if you can master the ones that we talked about this morning, you're going to be well on your way, okay?
Yeah,
I'm
sure.
hoping I'll have the opportunity to talk with you again in the future about managing change successfully and in a sustainable way, given that all of you are having conversations right now about managing the environment and looking at your role and behavior towards that. So I'm hoping, George, we may have the opportunity to have a continued conversation.
Yes, I hope so.
Go ahead. Having talked about what leaders are, you come back with that leadership attitude to be able to talk about how you then manage change as leaders.
Okay, so now I have a suggestion that the way that we can maintain this communication. So I've recorded this. This is going to be published on Green Contributor channel. So now what I would really appreciate is that to have a continued conversation, you could go to the channel and then ask your question in the comment note so that we can then continue on the conversations for any questions that you may have, because it's always possible for you to go back to YouTube. There is an option where you could select subtitles, so you could actually listen to the whole recording in your language, or French or Arabic or Parsi or whichever language, or Laos, or whichever language that you would like to listen to. And once you are able to do that, and if you have more questions or any comment, please go ahead so that we can continue to maintain that communication. That's a one-to-one communication that we're talking about. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Okay, now again, this is just the first of the session. As the speaker said, we do have additional sessions. We would also be covering transition. It is a challenge, especially when such kind of workshops are supposed to be done in person, but we're trying to do it from such a far away distance, and also with the network connectivity where people are not able to connect. But I'm still happy that at least we have been able to have this interaction. People have made the effort. When I have to really appreciate that, okay, one of the qualities is taking that initiative to come log in and try to be there, because that's exactly what makes you a leader. That's exactly what makes you different. And okay, yes, the thirst for knowledge, the thirst for trying to understand what this is, the thirst for curiosity, because until and unless you get to see and hear, you will never know whether it was really worthwhile for you. And at any point of time, everything is important, because right now you might have heard it, but when you go back and listen to that once again, it makes more sense, or you could be able to connect multiple dots. So is there, I mean, we're almost towards 1 hour. In fact, we started a little late, so that's why we still have. So is there any other questions? And we would always appreciate your comments. Please go to the channel and please keep asking tech. And is any other last minute questions or any comments? How did you feel the session was so far today? You can even text it. You can even text it on the comments. So at least we will be able to understand how it is.
We thank you so much, Mr. George. It was so beneficial for us, especially as teenagers.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Okay.
Oh, it was a very good experience. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
It was a very good experience.
Thank you, Mr. Petter. Thank you, Mr. Petter.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you all. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, and okay. There's one more thing that I got. One more comment. One has to note that the leaders have followers, and followers have leaders. That's a very good comment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I want to really thank you so much for this participate, and also I really appreciate that. And thank you very much, Mr. George and Mrs. Peter, for this information that you gave us. Thank you. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Very
Thanks a lot. I really appreciate it. And we would continue on this conversation because, as we said, this is not like any normal sessions where you pay and attend and then you finish it off. This is really like we're trying to make you become leaders. We're trying to make you do something where you're going to help your community. That's so important for you because you are going to create a legacy. And everybody can do it. Now, you should never feel that you are right at the bottom of the ladder. No, you can do amazing things. It doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter what your position is. It doesn't matter in which country or on which strata you are. You can still make the difference. And yes, I mean, Mr. Makrani, of course, he's really made the effort to get his students to come on our programs. He took the challenge. People at that point of had said, it's not possible. But I'm amazed at the number of students he's been able to get. So that's what makes a difference. He believes in himself. So that's what really makes all the difference. You can really make things happen.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Peter.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. I really appreciate Peter. Thank you for your time. I know you were outside, and of course we would have the next session on Wednesday. That is the coming Wednesday around the same time.
Of course, yeah.
Okay, so we really appreciate that. Okay, you could join us once again, and wish you all the best. Have a great, wonderful rest of the week.
You too. Thank you, guys. Wonderful to connect with you. Thanks, George.
Thank you, Mr. Peter.
Thank you.
Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Broken.